Hi there, welcome to theclearskinessentials.com. I'm Natasha St. Michael, and today I'm going to be doing my final review of the Detox Market's Best of Green Beauty Box 2018. So if you've been following this pretty much a little bit over 30 days ago, I would say almost like 6 weeks ago, I started an experiment of using all the products in the Best of Green Beauty Box exclusively for 30 days. And this includes all natural skincare, hair care, body care, and even a few makeup products. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to try out all of the best to see if they really are the best of the best, and to kind of just share at the end of the 30 days my thoughts on how the products performed. Did I like them? Did I not? And also about the box, if I really felt like this was the Best of Green Beauty box, and if this is something I would want to rebuy in the future. So pretty much, if you haven't seen part one, that's when I try out all the products for the first time. It's my first impressions, all of that. And I recommend watching that first and then coming back here to see my final review after using the products for a good 4 to 6 weeks. All right, so let's get started. So let's first start with Osea. This is the Ocean Cleanser. And out of all the products in the Best of Green Beauty box, this was, I would say, the most problematic product. I would say this was, in all honesty, like an epic fail for me. So I got a really bad reaction to this product. It did not work for my skin at all. If you saw part one of my 30-day experiment, when I was first trying out all the products for the first time and sharing my first impressions, I had a bad reaction to one of the skincare products. And at the time, I thought it was coming from the Vital Balm cream, but it actually turned out to be the cleanser that was causing the issue, and anything I would put on top of it would just make it worse. So luckily, when I had uploaded that video, a bunch of my subscribers left comments saying, Natasha, it's the cleanser. They're like, they had the exact same bad reaction to that cleanser. They were warning me, don't use it. And it turned out to be true. And luckily, you guys pointed that out to me, so that what I did for the first few days of the experiment was I stuck with my regular skincare routine, but I was using the cleanser to really make sure, okay, is this causing me the issue? What's going on? So for a good 2 days, I was using the cleanser, and every time I used the cleanser, my skin would just get really blotchy and red, and then over time, it would just start getting really achy and raw. It was awful, the irritation from the cleanser. And then I made the biggest mistake was that, I think it was on the second day, I exercised at night. And after exercising, I washed my face with this cleanser, and my skin was on fire. It burned so badly. And that's when I was like, okay, experiment over. I know it's this cleanser. And pretty much for a week, I just stuck to a very minimal, calming and soothing skincare routine to get my skin back into balance. And I made a video too of what my skincare routine is for calming down irritated skin. So I'll put a link below to that. But for 1 week, I just let my skin heal. And then I tried this one more time, just to be sure, because I don't want to say a product's bad and then it turning out not to be bad, right? So tried it one more time, and I got the same burning, redness, irritation, all of that. So I knew for sure this was not working for me. Now, I do want to just give a little bit of a review of this product beyond it giving me a bad reaction. So pretty much the Osea Ocean Cleanser is a gel cleanser, and it's meant to be used as a daily cleanser, morning and night, to clean your face, remove makeup, all of that. Now, whenever I've used this, I have found, and I mentioned this in my first impressions, that I found that afterwards my skin would feel really tight and dry. It's one of these cleansers that I have to immediately put on a moisturizer, or my skin just feels super dry and tight. And I found it kind of strange that they recommend this for normal, dry, and combination skin, because a cleanser like this that makes your skin feel so dry, you wouldn't want to recommend that to someone with dry skin. I would say this is much better suited for someone with really oily skin, very hardy skin, not someone that has dry skin. So that I found to be a little bit off. But I would say the biggest thing that I had the biggest problem with this cleanser is that it has a texture. It has exfoliating grains, like a physical scrub to this cleanser. And it doesn't mention this on the bottle, it doesn't mention it on their website, on the packaging, nothing. It says it's a gel cleanser. And when I think of a gel cleanser, I think of a gel cleanser. It's soft. There's no exfoliating texture to it, but there's these little grains in it that becomes like a scrub on your face. And I found that to be extremely disappointing that they don't mention this in the description, because if I were looking into this cleanser and wanting to buy it online where I don't have a chance to actually feel feel the cleanser or try it out, I'd have no clue that there's little exfoliating grains in it. And this is not something you'd want to use twice a day. This is certainly not something you'd want to remove makeup with, like nothing. I found this cleanser to really be a little bit off. So all in all, I found it to be disappointing. I found it just, yeah, it just did not work for me. So the next product I want to talk about is from Chia, and this is the Optimist Hydrating Essence. And I actually ended up loving this. If you saw my first impressions, I wasn't quite sure, you know, it was kind of like, okay, mainly because I don't normally use many like toners or mists or essences. That's usually not really part of my skincare routine, mainly because I find a lot of them actually dry out my skin. They make my skin feel tight, and I also don't like having too many ingredients on my skin. I find that like if I'm layering all these different products on my skin, a lot of times it sets me up for irritation. And so I wasn't sure how this would work out for me, but I ended up loving it. I actually found it to be extremely hydrating. I would use this after washing my face. I would spritz my face with this and then use like a serum or a moisturizer. And I found it really helped to allow everything to absorb better into my skin. It did add extra hydration. And I would say the standout thing that I love the most is how fine the mist is. So when you spray this, the mist is so super fine. And what I love is using this after I use makeup. So I'm in my 40s, and I'm sure those of you watching this that are in your 40s, your 50s, 60s and beyond, you know, like when we use like powder to set makeup, powder can make us look really old. And so I like using a mist after I've like kind of like powdered my face, just to kind of take the edge off the powder, and it just makes my skin look dewy and fresh and alive again. And I have another toning mist that I use to set my makeup, and I really like that one. But when I used this, it was worlds apart with how fine this mist is. The other product I have is pretty good, but this is amazing. So it's so fine, the mist, that it won't disrupt your makeup. You don't have to be nervous it's gonna mess things up. So I love this product. I would say the only thing that I had a problem with is that the cap doesn't really fit on very well. It falls off. So I wouldn't be able to travel with this. That's my only complaint of the product. So the next product is from Rosebrook, and this is the Vital Balm Cream. Now, this is the product that I wanted the most out of the entire Best Green Beauty box. This was kind of like the product that made me actually buy the box. You know, when you're buying like an assortment of products, there's always one that like stands out, right? And for me, this was the product that I was just dying to try. And what this is, the Vital Balm Cream, is I would say it's almost like a hybrid between a balm and a cream. So the difference between a balm and cream, first of all, is a balm would sit on the surface of your skin and it would act kind of like as a protective barrier between your skin and the outside elements. And it would also help to seal in moisture in your skin. And a cream, on the other hand, is something that you would put on your skin. It would hopefully absorb and nourish your skin and moisturize it and hydrate it. And so what this is doing is it's doing both. And I was dying to try this because I struggle with dehydrated skin. I don't necessarily have dry skin. I deal with dehydration a lot in my skin, especially because even though I live like in Bali and it's tropical here, the sun where we live is so strong and it's very drying. Plus, at the same time, I sleep with air conditioning, and that's also very drying and dehydrating on my skin. And also we bathe with our water that's very, very hard. And I find that too, it just dehydrates my skin. And so it's this constant battle keeping in the hydration in my skin. And I find a lot of products just don't work. And so I was excited to try this out. And so if you saw part one of my experiment, and when I was using this for the first time, I thought I was getting the bad reaction from this, but it actually turned out to be from the Osea cleanser. And so I only started using this, I would say, about 2 weeks into the experiment, once my skin was like healed and good and balanced, you know, so I no longer had the irritation from the cleanser, and I could really try this out and really see what it's doing to my skin. And so the first week of using this, I was using this day and night. And if you read the reviews of this, most people say just use it at night. It's very rich and it really does sit on your skin, you know, so it's very buttery and oily, and it's not necessarily the look people want during the day. But I was fine about using it also during the day because I wear sunscreen every day, and I wear mineral sunscreen with zinc oxide in it. And I find zinc oxide, no matter what the formulation is, it can sometimes dehydrate and dry my skin. And so I want to just try wearing this underneath it to see if that can actually be a little bit of a protective barrier between my skin and the sunscreen, and also just to help seal in moisture and just get my skin balanced again. And so for 1 week, I was using this day and night, and over time, I started seeing my skin was a lot more hydrated. It was definitely more moisturized. It was softer. It was plumper. It was just like more balanced, healthier, everything. And so by the end of the first week, I then transitioned to just using it at night. And I would say the thing that I loved about this was that it's not something that you have to rely on and use like every single day. And if you don't use it, your skin's gonna go back to what it was like before. I found that over time, I just use it less and less. So like the first week, it was day and night. And then by the second week, it was at night. And then by maybe the second, third week, I was just using it at night. And then by the fourth week, fifth week, I just use it maybe once or twice a week as maintenance. Like I don't need to rely on this for hydration and moisture. It kind of got my skin back to balance and my skin functions well. And I just use this like kind of like maintenance. So I love this. I highly, highly recommend it. It's beautiful to use. I would say this is specifically for someone that's got dry or dehydrated skin. Now, if you have irritated skin, my recommendation would be to first deal with the irritation before you treat the dryness and dehydration. I found with a product like this, like as you saw in my first impressions video, I got the irritation from the cleanser, and when I put this on top of after using the cleanser where my skin was irritated, it seals in that heat, making the irritation worse, you know. Plus there's a lot of botanicals and extracts and butters and like essential oils. There's a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of ingredients that I just found that this is great for treating dry and dehydrated skin, but maybe not so good for irritated skin. You know, and sometimes that comes hand in hand, right? Where you've got like irritated skin and dry skin. I would first deal with the irritation, get your skin balanced, get rid of that inflammation and irritation first. And then once your skin is better and not inflamed and sensitized, then you can use this. That is how I find this works the best. Now, the next product is from ODACITÉ, and this is the Aventurine Kiss Lip Serum. So, and this has an Aventurine little ball at the head of the serum bottle, and you apply it on your lips. Now, I really enjoyed using this. I religiously use this for the past 6 weeks, day and night. I'm always using this. I just reach to it. But I will say I didn't find it to be very moisturizing for my lips. I did notice the two things that stood out the most using this was that my lips were fuller, so a little bit plumper, and the color of my lips was a little bit deeper, which I liked. As far as on the claims of this product, they say it also helped with lines on your lips. It didn't do anything for the lines on my lips, but it helped to definitely make it a little bit fuller, which was nice. I didn't find it very moisturizing though. I found that like I would use it and it felt good for like an hour, and then my lips would start feeling dry. Yeah, this product I'm kind of like iffy about. I don't think I would repurchase it just because I like something that's also going to really moisturize my lips. But I did very much enjoy using it. So if you're looking for like a natural product that's going to, you know, ever so slightly plump up your lips and make the color of your lips come out more and just be a nice product for the lips, then I would recommend definitely trying it. Now, this product does have mint essential oil, which for some people does dry out their skin. And I have a feeling that's why maybe I had that issue where I just didn't find it did anything to moisturize my lips, at least not over like the long term. It was like great for like an hour while it was sitting on my lips, but afterwards my lips would start getting chapped. So the next product is from the Detox Mode, and this is the All Together oil. As you can see, I'm almost done. I loved this. I could not stand the scent. Okay, I'm gonna just be straight up about that. And I mentioned this in part one, in the first video. The smell on me smelled like bug repellent. It's like at first it smelled really nice, and then a few minutes later I start feeling like I smell like bug spray. But as a moisturizing body oil, this is fantastic. So the main carrier oils in this is jojoba oil and macadamia oil and grapeseed oil. And what's so nice about this is that it's so lightweight, but absorbs into the skin. It doesn't make your skin greasy. It doesn't sit on your skin, and it thoroughly moisturizes your skin. for one, struggle a lot of times with body oils is that it's like I put them on my skin, they sit on my skin, but they don't really do anything for my skin. So this was a fantastic product. I also really like that it comes in a spray on the bottle. So it's not messy, it's easy to use, everything. This is fantastic. If the Detox Mode actually came out with another altogether oil with a different scent, I would be all over it. But unfortunately, the only thing I didn't like was the scent. And I know that for different people, I might put this on me and it smells like insect repellent, but for someone else, it smells like citrusy and fresh and beautiful. So we're all kind of different with it. But that was my only complaint with this product. Otherwise, beautiful oil, would highly recommend it. And plus also, you can use this on your hair, on your face, on your body, everywhere. It's formulated to be used head to toe, which is great. Next product is from Nateur, and this is the Holi Stick #3 deodorant. I love this as well. So I love this so much, okay, because it's like a traditional deodorant stick where it rolls up. And if you've been following my blog for a while, you know that, say for the past few years, I've been using the Meow Meow Tweet baking soda free deodorant, grapefruit. And it comes like in a jar, and you have to put your fingers in the jar and then put it on your underarms. And that deodorant works fantastic for me. I have like backups of it. I love it. But I hate that I have to like dip my fingers in the jar and then put it on my underarms and then wash my hands. Even though it only takes 30 seconds, it's still a little annoying. And this deodorant worked just as well. I got no BO from it. It didn't transfer on my clothing. It didn't make my clothing white. It worked, and it's like a fresh scent, and it's practical. You're not having to put your fingers in it. You just swipe it underneath your armpits. So I love this. Like as soon as I finish my backup deodorants, I'm definitely switching over to this. And I do want to mention, because in my first impressions video when I was trying this out, I had mentioned that it had a citrusy scent, but it's actually eucalyptus. It's eucalyptus, honey, and lavender, which is very fresh. And I really, really like the scent of it as well. So overall, fantastic product. Never once over the past 6 weeks have I had body odor, nothing. It worked fantastic. And I also want to mention too that I apply this after shaving my armpits, and it never stings, it doesn't irritate my skin, nothing. Now, it does have baking soda in it, so for those of you that do have any kind of sensitivity with baking soda, this might not be for you, okay? But otherwise, fantastic, all-natural deodorant, wonderful. So next products are the Innersense. These are the Hydrating Cream Hairbath and the Hydrating Cream Conditioner. These are fantastic. Hands down, amazing natural hair care products. I was shocked, okay, because if you've been following my blog for a while, you might know that I don't like natural hair care products. Most of them do not work for me at all. Okay, most of them dry out my hair. They make my scalp really itchy and irritated and just awful. For the most part, a lot of times I don't even bother trying new products because I feel like every time I try a new natural hair care product, it's a big letdown. So, but here and there I do find some gems, okay? I will say that. But for the most part, majority on the market never have worked for me. But these two are fantastic. I was quite shocked. I was really shocked because I'd actually say that these are just as good or even better than like traditional shampoo and conditioner. Especially for, these ones specifically are for dry hair. Okay, so if you have dry hair, if you've got very coarse hair, you've got very thick hair, or you've got kind of like porous hair, or chemically treated hair, like you dye your hair, or you know you're putting chemicals through it that have like stripped your hair, you know, bleaching your hair, things like that. If you've got brittle hair, hair that needs kind of like hydration and moisturization and strength, these are fantastic. So let's talk about each product. We're going to start with the shampoo, which is the Hydrating Cream Hairbath. Now this is really, really mild. I was quite surprised just how mild it is, because most natural shampoos I use are the opposite. They're really, really stripping on my hair. And this I can actually do like a double cleanse with, whereas most natural shampoos I cannot. This is so mild and gentle. But I will say I prefer on a regular basis to do a single cleanse. You know, and I did find that when I was using this, I'd have to wash my hair every 2 to 3 days. Now, I exercise every day, so my hair does, you know, get like sweaty and stuff. So I have to wash my hair quite regularly. But normally, I would wash my hair every 3 to 4 days. But with this, I had to wash it a little bit more regularly because it's so mild, which I'm fine with because it never dried out my hair. I never felt like over the past 6 weeks that I've been using it that it's at all stripped my hair, dried it out, not at all. So I'm fine about having to wash my hair a little bit more frequently. I'll also say too that since it is a very mild and gentle shampoo, you might need to use some sort of clarifying shampoo once every few weeks. You know, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. I found that over time, my hair needed like a good deeper cleanse. And I found either to use a clarifying shampoo or even just to do one day where I double cleanse with this, and then it gives me a deeper cleanse, and then I'm good again, you know, and then maybe 2 weeks later do another double cleanse. So all in all, fabulous. This actually really hydrates the hair. It's moisturizing, you know, even for a shampoo, which is fantastic. It smells great too. Everything I loved about it, fabulous. Now let's talk about the conditioner. I will say with the conditioner, it's super, super, super rich. So again, this is really good for like thick, coarse, porous hair, brittle hair, hair that needs help, hair that's like been dyed or chemically processed. Like, this is fantastic. If you've damaged your hair, you got to try these products. And I find they work the best together. So anyways, with the conditioner though, it's super rich. It's so rich that I actually have to use half of what I think I need to use. And if I use too much, it's too much and it's hard to rinse out and it makes my hair stringy. Okay, so I actually found that there's a bit of a learning curve, especially with the conditioner. So you have to kind of play around with it to find the best amount for your hair and how to use it. So with this, I have to use very little. You don't need very much. You apply it to your hair. And I found that I had to rinse it out with warm water, not cold. And I had to really make sure it's thoroughly rinsed out, because if I don't rinse it completely out and I leave a little extra on my hair looks stringy when it dries. It looks like I've left the conditioner in my hair. So it's important to really thoroughly rinse it out and not to be scared that if you rinse it all out, it's not going to soften your hair and condition it, because it actually does. It's fantastic. You don't need any residue on your hair for it to work. And these two products are fantastic for like frizz, for dry, brittle hair, all of that. It'll just bring the hydration back and it'll smooth your hair and make it shiny and amazing. And so best to rinse this out with warm water. And what I like to rinse out my conditioner with cold water, but I found it wouldn't rinse out as well than with using warm water. So I use warm water to fully rinse it out. And then at the end of my shower, I will rinse my hair out with cold water. And I find that just helps to seal my hair and make it shinier and also help bring down any frizz. So all in all, I'll say the biggest standout benefit I had from using these products is that I would wash and condition my hair, and then I let my hair air dry. And normally when my hair dries, I have frizz and I need to use some sort of product on my hair to kind of soften it out. But with these products, I don't need to use any products. I barely have frizz and my hair just dries beautifully. I don't need to put a little oil on the ends or a little butter or wax or anything to kind of define my curls, nothing. Like, everything just dries beautifully. And I love that. For the past 6 weeks I've been using these products, I have not used any styling products, you know, and normally when my hair dries, I need something to kind of, you know, make it look a little bit better. So really, 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 really impressed with these products. So the next product I want to talk about, which is also a hair care product, is from Goop, and this is their G.Tox, the Himalayan Salt Scalp Scrub Shampoo. Now this is kind of like a clarifying shampoo plus also a scrub for your scalp. And it's got Himalayan salt in it, which is supposed to, you know, work as a physical exfoliant. And you're supposed to use this once a week as kind of like a treatment shampoo. Now, at first, I really liked this. I liked how easy it was to apply to my hair. It foamed up like a dream. It smelled amazing. But there was a few things that I started noticing happening. The first thing was that I didn't find it to be terribly exfoliating for my scalp. Okay, so when I would apply it to my scalp and work it in, it's kind of like those little salts in it to exfoliate my scalp. There just wasn't enough to do anything. So I just felt like if only it had more salt in it, would it really give my scalp a good sort of treatment? Whereas this, it was kind of like a little bit of a letdown or a disappointment that there just wasn't enough exfoliation to happen because there was barely any salt to do anything. So that was the first thing I didn't like. The second thing was that as I was using this, I started noticing that as soon as my hair air dried after using this with the Innersense conditioner, was that I had this huge halo of frizz, all of like the crown of my head to about like here. It's pretty much like I gave birth to my daughter a little bit under 2 years ago. And about 4 months after she was born, I started losing a lot of hair, right? And that happens to some of us women after we give birth, our hair starts falling out. And then you go through that for like quite a few months where you start losing like a bunch of hair, and then you start going through the regrowth, right? And so I had like this big crown up to like about here of like frizz. So it's like all my regrowth hair just like sticking out. And I didn't like the fact that I was having so much frizz at the top of my hair because that meant that I had to use an oil or something, or a wax or something, to bring it down, and then that would just make my hair get dirty faster. So I didn't like that, and I noticed it every single time I used it. I also noticed too that as right after washing my hair with this, if I looked in the mirror, I can see all these flakes on my scalp, and I don't have dandruff, I don't have a flaky scalp, but whenever I use this, my scalp, like right after shampooing, would be just really flaky. And then I'd feel like, oh God, I need to go back in the shower and wash my hair again. And like that to me is just terrible. It just did not agree with me. So after 3 weeks, I stopped using it. I think I will continue using it and probably finish it up, but it wasn't my favorite product. I definitely don't reach for it, and I wouldn't repurchase it. And then lastly, the makeup products. So there was 2 makeup products from the W3ll People in the Best of Green Beauty box, and there was mascara and there was a lipstick. Let's talk about the lipstick. This is the Optimist Semi-Matte Lipstick in the color Choose Love. The formula of this is great. It's moisturizing, it's long wearing, it's fantastic. I didn't like the color. The color for me was just too pink. I would never wear this. I think for me that was the only thing, like I'll definitely give this away, but talking formula and talking like actual performance of the lipstick and just not looking at the color, it's a good lipstick that I'd actually be interested in looking into what other colors the W3ll People has in this lipstick, because it's really nice. It did not dry out my lips. The color lasted. All of that. It didn't move around, it didn't bleed, like nothing. It was very, very good. And I like the semi-matte. It's just too bad the color didn't work out for me, because otherwise it's a really nice lipstick. Now, I want to talk though about the W3ll People, their mascara. And this is the Expressionist mascara. And this to me was, I would say, one of the best products in the whole Best of Green Beauty box 2018. I love this mascara. This was a win for me. So what I loved about this, because you guys know I live in Bali, I live in a very hot tropical environment. And since I moved here, I kind of stopped wearing mascara, and I would just get my eyelashes dyed like every month, because I just found every time I wear mascara, because of the heat here and the humidity, it would go down my face and I'd always look like a raccoon. And this doesn't. This doesn't move. It's budge proof. And I actually put this to the test where I went to a friend's wedding reception, and it was at sort of like this open air, kind of like outdoor, indoor kind of venue. So it's hot. There's no air conditioning. It's all open air. So you can imagine at night in Bali how hot it is. And I came home and I was expecting to have serious like raccoon eyes, and the mascara didn't budge. And I had it both on my upper and lower eyelashes, and it did not move. It did not flake. It didn't transfer. It didn't melt. Nothing. I was so impressed with this. I love this. I like more of like a natural wear mascara. I don't like a thick or clumpy mascara. I like something that defines my lashes and something that I can also build up. So I'm not like putting one layer and it's too thick and everything is coming together. I can layer this up so it can kind of work with it. So daytime I might just put one layer on, but at night if I want more volume, then I can put 2 or 3 layers of it, and it's beautiful. I am so happy with this. So this I highly, highly recommend. I will say though, it's not easy to take off, but that's the price you kind of pay when it doesn't transfer and melt down your face, is that it might be a little difficult to take off, but I would recommend just use like an oil to remove it and you'll be fine. So Love this, highly recommend it. So this is my final review of all the products from the Detox Market's Best of Green Beauty Box 2018. Right now, the box is currently sold out. You can still buy all the products individually, but the box itself is a limited edition box. It's usually released somewhere in the winter time, I believe maybe October, November, maybe early December. And then it's usually available till about February. So I will put links to all the individual products below. Plus also, I did a full written review of each and every product on today's blog post. So I'll put a link to today's blog post at theclearskinessentials.com, so you can check that out if you want to read more about the products or for easy reference. But I do want to mention that I was really happy I got the box, because if you saw part 1 of this video, you know that I've been lusting over these boxes. The Detox Market comes out with the Best of Green Beauty box every single year, and every year the boxes are different. They're full of the most popular natural skincare and body care and makeup products, and I'm always really excited about it, but somehow I always talk myself out of getting it. And I'm happy that this year I finally did it, because I really like majority of the products I loved. I also can say too is that it is excellent value for your money. The box itself retails for either, I think, 149 US or 189 Canadian dollars. And the actual value of the box is usually, like, you're saving at least somewhere around $100, maybe a little less than 100 if it's US and a little more than 100 if it's Canadian dollars. And getting a lot of products, like 11 products, 6 of them are full size, and the rest are deluxe samples. And even the deluxe samples are pretty big. Like, out of all 11 products that I've been using over the past 6 weeks, I have not finished anything. And I'll just show you with the Innersense, their shampoo and conditioner. These are deluxe samples, and I'm nowhere near finished them. I've been using them for 6 weeks. I still have about 2/3 of the conditioner left. I would say maybe about like 1/3 of the shampoo. So this is gonna last me at least another month. And for a deluxe sample, 3 months worth of use, I think it's pretty good. And especially because it's a great way of trying things out to really make sure you like them, you know, and it's working for you, and to see, you know, what are your results using them over the course of a few weeks or even a few months. So overall, I love the box. I would definitely buy next year's box, hands down, yes. Like, even though there was a few products that didn't work for me, when I look at all of the products as a whole, majority did work. It's almost like to be expected that, like, if you're going to put 11 products in a box, there's probably going to be 1 or 2 things that might not work, might not be suitable for you, like all of that. You know, that's kind of normal. So, but I'm happy that majority of the products worked out for me. Many of the products I'm excited to repurchase, and yeah, and I'm just so happy to like try out new brands and new products and share that experience with you. So do check out my full review at my website. I'll put a link to that below. I'll put product links to all the products that I reviewed below as well. And I'm wishing you guys a fabulous day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.